Yes, people, welcome. Welcome back to DK Sports. I am glad to have you. I am absolutely glad to have you. I hope the internet holds up today. Yesterday's show, there was a 7 minute pause in the video. The internet just kept going in, out, StreamYard, freeze, unfroze, freeze, unfroze. I tried to end the stream. Couldn't end the stream. And then I came back in, and the legends were still in the chat, chatting it up, chopping it up with one another. I'll tell you about this group chat. These men are just absolutely legends. I see a couple of you in here already. Big up to Brett. I see Alvin. I see Bluebird. I even see the legend that is Mr. Battered. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in here for Mr. Battered, just in case he is available. I've been meaning to, not a calling show, but, I've been meaning to drop the link with Mr. Battered just so he can throw me some more. What a guy, man. What a legend. He wasn't here for yesterday's show, but still, he's a valued member of these YouTube spaces. So, Mr. Barrett, if you have time, he's my friend. Hop on and join us. But I'll big up the rest of the chat. Brett saying, United. Yeah. So apparently, Man United drew 0-0 with Leeds. No big deal. Preseason game, first preseason game. I get it. Yeah, go ahead and copy the link, my bro. And because I don't want to pin it because I didn't plan to do a call-in show. So if you copy the link, I'll go ahead and remove it. Yeah, United drew 0-0 with Leeds. I don't know if it was home or away. Didn't care. Don't do much Man United content. Even yesterday's show, there was an Arsenal fan here, there was a Liverpool fan here, and most of the fans in the group chat that I sent the link to was Man United, and they were chatting shit all morning about Cunha and then Buemo and all this stuff. But them managers, completely irrelevant at this point. But it is what it is, man. It is what it completely is. We let them be for the time being. Go ahead and pin that right there in case it gets away from us. Mr. Barrett can join us. Brett getting bigged up by Bluebird and Alvin saying smash the likes on the way in, says the people. The Battered, our beloved guest, should be here soon. United look terrible, he says. Brett, did you watch? Did you watch the extended highlights, or did you actually watch? Because this comment, even though I love it, it was it's no surprise there. No surprise there. They were terrible all season long. And I said, give him a preseason. So this is his preseason for him to get them looking like a proper football team. Because the bar is very low over there. The bar is very, very low. The bar is don't finish in the bottom half and don't finish on negative goal difference. That's the bar. Surely they can't mess that up. In any world, if they find a way to make a meal of this, then Arteta won't be the only one in a hot seat this year. Sounds good to me, brother. Okay, got you. Got you. It was in Sweden. Okay, so Man United are over there. So Glakares probably went and watched the match because he's in Sweden, yeah? Our star striker that I think we fly out to Singapore today. If not, it's tomorrow. And our star striker is still sitting in Sweden. According to David Ovo, he is not in London. He's not in Portugal. He is home, waiting for Arsenal to unfuck themselves. Waiting for Arsenal to stop dwindling their thumbs. Waiting for Arsenal to value just how much is a Premier League title worth to you. How much is a star striker worth to your fans? Like, does Arsenal know the amount of shirts they would sell the first day of the Armory when they signed Gyökeres and put him in the 19 shirt or the number 9 shirt or the 14 shirt, even the number 10 shirt? Don't want that yet because I'm expecting Eze to be in that shirt. More to follow on that Eze and Crystal Palace talk here in a second. However, starting preseason, flying away, and Arsenal Football Club still leave without their striker. Arsenal Football Club are like the way they treat their fans, It's like giving a poor excuse to a true friend, right? Every one of us got a friend, or maybe you are that friend that's always been there, always came through for your road dog, for your right hand man, for your homie, for your sis, whoever. You've always been that guy, that girl, always been there. Yeah. And then when you need them to come true, they give you a poor excuse. That is us in Arsenal. That is the relationship that we have with this club, because we've always been there through thick and thin. A whole lot of thin. A whole lot of thin we've been there supporting Arsenal. And now we're begging you. We're begging you for a striker. This striker. We're begging for the striker. The striker's begging for us. And we cannot get this deal done. This is concerning. This is a hella concern. Not gonna lie. I'm concerned. Very concerned. Never ever give a poor excuse to a true friend. We are the true friends, and Arsenal Football Club is giving us a poor excuse of why this deal hasn't been done and why we haven't moved on to other deals. Now, speaking of other deals, there's a reason why Gahey is in the thumbnail, linked to Liverpool. Now, why? This is BBK Sports. Heavy concentration in football, heavier concentration in Arsenal Football Club, right? This is all sports, all teams. But the Crystal Palace links of any player indirectly affects Arsenal, and I'll explain why in a second. But laughing at Man United, yeah, man, laugh at them all day until they get back to the top half of the table. That's the low bar that I've set for him. Big up, man, like TK. Great stream this morning. Big up to you, and big up to brother Saad, Hussam, all them, man, supporting TKA. I love it. I love to see it. Love to see the big channels supporting the up and starting channel. Wahaha. Hey, yo, good day to you, bro. How are you? Tell us that you are good. Let us know that you are well. All the legends in the chat, yeah, man. Big up to all 16 of you are locked in. However, okay, people. So Crystal Palace, yeah? Crystal Palace lost Elise last year. They replaced them with Saar. Got good money from Bayern Munich. I think around 60 or 70 million or something like that. 50, 60 million. Reinvested in the squad, got Saar and a couple other players. And they went and won the FA Cup. Qualified for Europe. Qualified for Europa League. Been demoted to Conference League due to red tape, politics, whatever you want to call it, right? But they have Europe. Eze wants to move. Eze is open to move, yeah? Now, you have to ask yourself, how many players going into Europe are Crystal Palace willing to sell this summer? Because there's a reason they didn't sell Eze last summer. One of the reasons why they sold Elise. It was either or. They were never going to sell both of them. And they were right. They trust themselves. They trust their own judgment that we're not selling both these players in the same window. And it worked out for them. They're the current FA Cup champ, FA Cup holders. So they don't have to sell. But if Gahey goes to Liverpool, they are weakening their squad. Because he is a fantastic defender. We rate Gahey highly. Most Premier League players, most Premier League fans rate Gahey highly. So Crystal Palace will be weakening their squad, weakening their defense by letting Gahey go to Liverpool. Are they willing to weaken their defense and weaken their attack in the same window? Are they? Because if they do, they won't sell them to us. They will not sell them to us. But I pause when I have to think about Arsenal dragging their feet with the Gyökeres deal, haven't even bid for Eze, and you know how we spend loads of time, absolute loads of time, just dragging our feet with transfers, as if the whole world is going to sit around and wait on us. But, you know, what do I know? I tell you who do know, who does know, who has supreme football knowledge, joining us on BBK Sports for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Battered. He is here, finally putting a face to the name. Big up. How are you, bro? How are you, man? Tell me.
I'm very good. Thanks for the invite, mate.
Is something covering your mic?
Is it better now?
There was a little bit of static. I can hear you fine, but there's a little static.
All right, let me just have a check on my side. Yeah.
There's just a little bit of static there.
Is this sounding better?
I think it'll eventually go away, man. Go on.
All right.
What you saying, bro?
Well, it's an interesting window. Certainly on the positive side for most of us on the Liverpoolian side, but yeah, not looking so great for you guys. But that's what we're here to talk about and dissect further if you haven't already minced it all up by now.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm still getting the static. I don't know if the chat can hear it. Chat, if you can hear the static, let me know. Let me just remove you and pull you. Hold on 1 second. Let me check your audio settings. Let me check your audio. Mic. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, try again.
Is that better?
Damn, I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, I can hear your voice fine, but whenever you speak, it's like I hear a little static in the background, and it gets quite loud. I don't know if the chat can hear it. If the chat can't hear it, I'm fine with it. Yeah, Mr. Brett said he can hear it. I can deal
okay,
with it.
Let me disconnect and come back with a different mic.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me pick up the chat while you do that. Wahaha says, I'm fine with preseason starter for us, and we're getting rid of Rashford. Hey, terms agreed. Yeah, terms agreed to Barcelona. I'm hearing that it's a loan with obligation to buy possibly and reduced wages. So he's going to Barcelona. Probably going to deputize Rafinha on that left wing. Rafinha did well on that left wing. Made a Ballon d'Or shot for himself. But in the Premier League, he predominantly played on the right wing. He played at Leeds. He did. But there's the other guy that plays on the right wing who's been being touted as the best player in the world. So he's not getting any game time over there. But I don't know. We'll see how Rashford works out. I'm glad. I know most Man United fans I know are glad to see him go. I think he's just overstayed his welcome. The club. I expect Gyökeres will get done. See, Brett, I believe that as well. I also believe that. However, I need him on the pitch playing with his teammates. I need man to get his house sorted, get his support structure, whoever he's bringing with him, sorted so he can focus on the football because we need him to hit the ground running. We need him to hit the ground running, full sprint. There is no warm-up. This should be the warm-up. He should be warming up right now for a hell of a season. This season may be one of the most competitive seasons that we've seen in a long time. If everything plays out the way we expect with all the improvements that other teams are making, because we do not make predictions based on who's going to get injured, fixture congestions, and all that stuff. Whenever we make a prediction, we assume that the teams are healthy for the most part. Yeah? And City, Liverpool doing the business. Arsenal, not convinced about the business. Chelsea have signed some good players. João Pedro, good players. Jamie Gittins, good player. And they've got rid of certain players, yeah? They've got rid of the Sanchos. They've got rid of Madueke. They have gotten rid of players who they do not rate. And they have a squad full of players who are young but are experienced because they have lifted 2 trophies this year. They know what it takes to lift a trophy. Our players are experienced, but they don't have that winning experience. So between Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and Pool, it could be long. It could be absolute long. Let me I think Mr. Becker has the link so I can remove this. I can't remove that now. Okay, gotcha. Not worried. Early preseason. Hey, got you, man. I got you. Yeah. Preseason. I mean, who played anyway? Because I looked at the Arsenal preseason game, 3-0 versus Watford. I'm trying to get the starting lineup. I went on several websites, several journals, couldn't find anything. The only starting lineup that I found, I know it's complete bull because it had Thomas Partey on there. But he had some of the new guys on it, but I was like, yeah, this is cool. Someone just made this up and threw it on the internet to throw people off. So I want to know who played and how many minutes they played in the Arsenal game, 3-0. But yeah, first preseason game, absolute. Nah. But I see Saeed already streaming saying that nothing's changed. They look terrible, blah, blah, blah. You expect that from, the YouTube space to overreact to a preseason draw. The same way the day before, I think it was Leverkusen lost 5-0 to an under 21 Brazilian team. And because it's Ten Hag and because he had Man United ties, every single Man United fan took a dig at Ten Hag. So today they had to take a dig that they fired Ten Hag for. As not particularly worried about the performance. So yeah, fair enough. A little bit, he said. Okay. Gotcha. Big up to Yaga P in the building. Big up to the chat. Yeah, Mr. Battered will be back. He will be back. The Waffle Don is in the building, people. Big up to the Waffle Don every single time. Every single time. Mr. Battered was here, so I had to turn off the jams. But it's cool. I turned off the jams and I turned the volume up because you know what happened.
Maybach music. Maybach music.
Follow me. I'm so sophisticated. To get a verse from me, you gotta be initiated.
Maybach music.
I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. Whipping work.
Maybach.
I'm burning purple flowers. It's burning my chest. I bury the most cash and burning the rest.
Maybach music.
And we pause. We drop the music and then we pause for Eros to receive his flowers, people. And that's what he does. Enters and shuts down the stream. Big up to Eros, the legend that he is, stepping into the stream and blessing us with his presence like he always does. Waffle Don said, you have your mobile phone next to the mic, it can affect it. See? My brother, my IT brother coming in here with the solution. I hope Mr. Barrett see that. I've never streamed from my phone, ever. So I don't know how those settings goes. Need more players in, should be talking about Eze and Rogers. Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, though. I don't believe the Gyökeres deal, the Mascara deal, or any of the other deals is an excuse not to progress in the Eze deal. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. These are multi-billion-dollar businesses for these men to use. They have interns, they have assistants, they have a boatload of people who can make these deals, make these connections, make these phone calls, send these emails, type up the offer sheet, all this craziness. They have people to do. So I don't want to hear anything about they can't do it. Like, come on. Like, every single one of us in here, in this chat, all 20 of us, has had to do some multitasking at some point. But we expect a $5 billion football club at the highest level of football cannot multitask. And this actually concerns me a great deal, because if we drag out the Gyökeres deal this long, the Eze deal will take time. And Palace are in the Community Shield, people. They play a week before everyone else. So they need to get their business sorted. If Eze is going, he needs to go. If Gahey is going, he needs to go. So they can sort out their business, because the Premier League starts in 4 weeks. They start in 3. They have to play Liverpool at Wembley. And they want to know if Eze is going to be in the squad or if he's going to be an Arsenal player. And that's a fair stance for them to make. It's completely fair for them to know what direction they're going in, and they have to plan as if he's going to be there. And if not, they need to move him on so they can get replacements for him. Right? Big up to E. Ross and the crew. Everyone, hit the like and subscribe, people. Everyone played, but 11 subs at halftime. Some looked shit, some looked okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, the starting 11, though. I don't know. Did Cunha start? Did Bruno start? Yeah. You got to give Leeds some respect. Leeds is a Premier League team. I can't laugh at the Leeds. We have them at what? Match day number 2 at the Emirates. You knew the music was coming. You knew it was coming, brother Abs. Yeah, get back in here whenever you can, Mr. Byard. Love to have you, man. Red says, where in America are you? I am in Seattle, my bro. I am in Seattle. Big up to man like that egg. The apprentices of Arsenal should step up, but They typically don't. Yeah, they should, man. It's a love-hate relationship. Love-hate relationship. Like I said before you man jumped into the stream, Arsenal Football Club, it's like they're giving a poor excuse to a true friend, and the true friends are their fans, and they're not supporting us the way we're supporting them through a whole lot of thin and a little bit of thick. We supported this club for 30 years, and these men can't give us the striker that we're begging out for, begging for, man. It's absolute madness. But big up to Static. Just waiting for Mr. Barrett to get in here because I have some questions for him. Cunha started, looked all right. Bruno started, looked shit. Wow. Hey, now, I don't know. Because Man United fans are unfair to Bruno sometimes. And it is a rival thing, yeah? Like sometimes Chelsea fans, because they have a shit player that they want to stay at a certain club, they be like, hey, he is good, he is this, he is that. But it's not a rival thing. I actually don't think Bruno is that bad. I don't think he's that great either. But I think the pendulum just swings too difficult for me. They swing too oh man. Unfair. I didn't. Let me drop it back in here for you, Mr. Barrett. I don't know how it got out. Copy. I thought you had copied it. Well, you must have just clicked it straight from the stream. But there you go. There you go, Mr. Barrett. It is pinned and it's there and it's ready. Cunha started, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you're a one of the United fans who have an axe to grind or a grudge against Bruno. So, because a lot of times I see fans cook Bruno and then I go watch him. I'm like, man, he wasn't that bad. He was not that bad at all. Big up to Hendo. Hope you are good, my bro. Tell us that you are good in this Saturday evening / afternoon on the other side of the pond. He was invisible, but played with Casemiro and Collier. Casemiro was good. Second half midfield was better. Mount, Meno, and Ugarte. I'm just very interested to see how Man United are going to line up with all these different mix of players that most of them don't want because they label them as Ten Hag players. And Ten Hag's talent ID was in the gutter from what I hear. Yes, sir.
Better this time, I hope.
That is perfect.
Awesome.
Yes,
fantastic. Yes. We get there in the end.
Yes. So what you telling me, bro? What you telling me, Mr. Liverpool?
I don't know, man. It's been an interesting few weeks in the transfer window. Like I said to you in the chat many times,
Yeah.
Very unusual experience for Liverpool fans to have business done this early, and potentially still a lot more to go.
Yeah.
And today, the Eddie Howe interview is even better for us. Like it just sounds like there is a opportunity. But yeah, it just adds a bit more fuel to the fire. So the comments were quite interesting.
What did he say? What did Eddie Howe say?
So Eddie Howe said the conversations around Isaac's future affecting him, and I had to drop him for the game and sent him home.
That?
So, yeah,
he said that
today.
Wow.
But he also finished with, we expect Isaac to stay at Newcastle till the end of the transfer window.
Well,
so
now go on.
So I don't know. That sounds like he's got a set of cards and he's somewhat confident, but not so confident either. So his poker game is being tested at the moment. So
was that specifically the Liverpool links? Because I've heard the Saudi links as well. Is it just he's like, okay.
He didn't say Liverpool. He just said links. So okay. I think he was being careful about what he was saying. Wow. Obviously, he can't mention a team. Then it completely destroys their negotiation possibilities. So they won't show all their hand. But yeah, it was interesting what he said, and the fact that he sent the player home. That's crazy, because in the past you have players who are being linked with other teams, but they either sit on the bench or they play the game. It shouldn't matter so much. So it's quite telling that this has happened today.
Oh, that's like breaking news to me, bro. That's actually important. That's not something I can just sweep under. There's a message there being sent, because I read an article this morning. It was a quick article It said he was left out the squad, but the article went on to say it had nothing to do with transfer rumors. But then if the manager comes out and says it did, I'm inclined to believe the manager, because why would he say that?
Exactly. And Eddie Howe, he's one of those who's not going to mince his words. He's a straight shooter. So
he is a straight shooter.
He's not an Arteta. He doesn't mix his words. Yeah.
Arteta's player spoken. But we'll keep it on Liverpool while I have you here. Right? We'll keep it on Liverpool. Do you think Slot is gonna I don't want to say upset the balance of the midfield, but upset the balance of the midfield? Because your midfield, I think, is so functional, right? I think it works.
Yeah.
Does he insert words into that, or does he play him as a false nine? Because we've seen him not rate Diaz. I've seen him Nunes. I've seen him win the league and still not start Darwin up top. That's telling. When the league is wrapped up and you still don't start the number 9, that's a message being sent. So do you think he's going to play verse in the midfield there, or he's going to throw him up front as a false 9 / extra creator for Salah?
So Tara, to be perfectly honest, right? Any Liverpool fan will tell you that they have no clue how this formation is going to look like going into the season, which is why we're quite excited about the preseason to see what the possibilities are. And again, it's tricky because we don't really have a number 9 still. Like, despite all the speculations and links that are currently being made to Ekatike and Isaac in the past and others going forward, we don't have a number 9. So going into preseason, we're going in with Wirtz as a potential false 9 and Gakpo potentially up front, and the youngster from our academy, Jayden Dan's probably playing a few games there as well. So there's no clue. Like, if you ask a Liverpool fan or if you ask a set of Liverpool fans, they will probably give you 5 to 10 different formations they think are possible, which to me is actually a good problem to have, because it's all good players that you're talking about that will be mixed and matched and put together. So it's an exciting time. I wouldn't say it's worrying for us. It's more exciting, I think.
Yeah, quality depth is what I call it. Absolute quality depth. This is what we have praised Man City for the
exactly
that crazy run and win. But when it's other teams, it's always, where's this guy's going to play? Where's that guy going to play? But when it was City, it's just quality depth. I hear it. Speaking of quality depth, you've been linked with Crystal Palace, Mark Gahey. Do you rate him, or what do you think? What are your
Absolutely. I rate him very highly. I think he's one of those under the radar players who gets overlooked because, his name is not Gahey or something. So he's a very low profile, get the job done.
Yeah.
Us army people, we love that kind of an individual who just gets on with things. Does the job, and he's a leader. Like, if you look at his trajectory as a player, right from the young age groups, he's been a captain.
Yeah,
like for England, he's captained a few games. He leads from the back. Now, whether that's through he's not an exceptional footballer. Like, let's not kid ourselves to say he's a John Terry or he's a Rio Ferdinand. He's not. Because there are deficiencies to his game, especially from the heading front. Like, he's not very good aerially. But he's extremely good at reading the game. He's quick. He's versatile. There's this word that everybody fears yet likes, of versatility. He is versatile. Like, he's one of those you can put anywhere in the back line and he'll give you an 8 out of 10 performance. So I think we're really happy. I think the thing right now is around the price, 45 million to 50 million, whatever that may be. The sticky point is he's just got a year left. Why is it 45 to 50 is people's question. But then when you look at it from a Crystal Palace perspective, just think about it for them, right? They've gone through the high of winning the first ever trophy, then being told that you won't be in Europa and drop the conference because of your owner's mischief. And then you're losing players like potentially Eze and Wharton is being talked about, linked all over the place. And Gahey, who's the club captain, who's delivered that very first trophy for you. So I can see why they play hardball. And Steve Parish, everybody knows Steve Parish. He's not the easiest. I think after Daniel Levy, he's probably the hardest guy to deal with in the PL. So.
Yeah. So everything you just say there concerns me, right? Everything from Gahey leaves, because the rest of the Premier League kick off their season in 4 weeks. Palace play you, man, in the Charity Shield a week sooner. So I would attest they want to know what their squad is going to be going into the season, and you don't want to lose your best defender. your best creative outlet and your best defensive midfielder in Wharton. So this is why I get upset with Arsenal Football Club. Like, if you go tie up Eze now, make it difficult for them to sell Gahey to Liverpool and Wharton to Tottenham. Because if the other way around, when they lose their best defender, they're going to want to go into a Community Shield as strong as possible. Because it was their first trophy ever. Like, it's when we drag our feet with transfers, other teams can come in and make it more difficult for us. So if we can't get the Gyökeres deal over the line, the guy who openly wants us, and we haven't made a bid for Eze yet, to my knowledge, I'm very, very concerned because he's a really good player. Now, is he going to Liverpool because the Konate unrest?
I think that's a very big part of the equation. I think it's one of those things that Madrid are famous for asking players to run down their contracts. I mean, we are living examples of it. You saw what happened with Trent. So they're trying the same with Konate, and it likely would have played out if Edwards and Hughes weren't, at the top of their game. We're so glad that they're back running the recruitment side of things for us.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, Gahey is very helpful on that front. He's also going to be good cover for VVD. Let's not forget Van Dijk, right? He's played a lot of games, So since he's been back from injury, he's played literally, I would say 90 to 95% of our games. And that's going through like a season and a half nonstop, club and country, by the way. So he's going to need a bit of a shuffle out of the team once in a while. Age is catching up. Let's not forget he's hitting 33, 34 right now. There is going to be an expectation of a dip. And also, I think, when you're playing in a team that requires, even Arsenal is the same, right? You have flying fullbacks or flying inverted fullbacks in your case, or flying fullbacks in our case.
Mm-hmm.
The centre-back pairing is very critical. Like, they need to be on it, even if they don't have the ball for a lot of the game. So we need tuned-in players. And I think Gahey is one of those, perfect age as well, 24. He does a lot of that for Crystal Palace. He does a lot of tracking back for them. He'll be looking a lot more forward. So it's a different game as a center half.
Yeah.
And he's very adaptable. So I'm very excited that Gahey will come in. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He's played left back as well in a 3 for a left centre back for Crystal Palace as well. He's done right back shifts for England. So we're very excited by that link. So I think he's one of those, to go back to your question, we would have got regardless of Konate staying or going. The fact that Kwanzaa is gone, we're going to need one more because Joe Gomez is looking great in training. Like, past week or two, Liverpool fans have been watching a lot of the inside training videos, and we are so excited to see Joe Gomez back because he is such a classy defender as well. Only 28, but unfortunately he's had like a, barrage of injuries at his age. He's done ACLs, he's had hamstring issues, he's had ankle issues, broken foot. So the guy has gone through it all. But when he's fit, he's one of the most like elegant centre backs to watch.
I've seen him come in at left back a couple of games too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the thing with and Gahey, right? You won't have to pay him 200K, right? Like
exactly.
Is that what it is for Konate? That's the sticking point. He wants a pay raise because he gets playing time and he's going to play for France. So
he is. I mean, on his day, he's as good. I mean, people will argue between Saliba and him on the right side of center half. Who's better? I think different people's tastes are different. But if you look at it on the spectrum of who are the best right-sided center backs, Saliba, Konate are in the conversation all the time. So he is up there. I think the sticking point that Liverpool has is his demands are so high with only one full season as a proven centre-back for us, fully fit. So in the 5 seasons he's been with us, he's only had, one full season that he's played pretty much. Yeah. So, and the demands are high. And I think what I'm hearing from some of the reputable journalists, talking about the situation is his head is turned, like he wants to go to Madrid. So I think if a player wants to go, you got to let him go. And in our case, we want to let him go for a fee, not free. So that's
I hope he goes, man. I hope he goes. Then they can leave Saliba alone. Yeah, because they were Militao's still there. They got the kid they just signed from Bournemouth. Yeah, It could be a Liverpool reunion over there with him and Trent. So yeah, let him go, man. So they can.
Well, I mean, Alonso likes a back three, so he's got Huijsen, he'll get Konate, and he'll go for Saliba next. Because let's not forget, Alaba, Militao, and Rudiger, they're reaching pretty much the end of their shelf life, pretty much together. So
So speaking of Alonso, right? Like this morning, because of the transfer hoopla and the market, YouTube space being oversaturated with transfer talk. I was going to leave the transfer talk alone this morning still before the Rashford news broke and this and that. But what I was going to do was I was going to do that show, and I was going to do some hot takes, right? Because last year I did a lot of hot takes, and the Real Madrid was one of my hot takes last year that I got right, that I got cursed for at the time. Because Real Madrid last year won a bunch of stuff and then went and signed the best player on the market in Mbappe. And when they did that, I was like, my hot take is Real Madrid just signed the best player in the world off the back of a fantastic season. However, they're not winning the Champions League next year. And everyone was like, and I'm not done there. I don't think they're winning La Liga either. So said, so done. So, hot take with Real Madrid while they're in the conversation. I honestly believe that by Christmas, Xabi Alonso could be in trouble this year. The way Real Madrid are looking shaky, and if by Christmas they're 10 to 12 points behind Barcelona, I think they might pull the plug on them. There's no sentiment there.
Yeah. And you can see what's happening with the contract situations as well. So Vinny throwing his toys out the pram. He wants a big contract. His head is turned by Saudi saying, they're going to drop some ridiculous numbers we've seen today. I think his biggest problem, I never thought Alonso would be a good fit either at Madrid. I just don't see how this works unless he changes his entire 11. Because these are not Alonso players, if you think about it. Outside of the back, the three at the back four that he has signed, which is, Alvaro Carreras, Huijsen, and Trent.
Yeah.
You could argue the rest of them do not fit his style of play at all, So I see it as a very tricky situation. Now, Madrid has a history of preferring to change a manager than changing their players because player power reigns supreme over there. So I agree with you. I think he's gone for different reasons, and I don't see him turning it around. I don't see how Alonso gets Vinny tracking back and Mbappe tracking back and Arda Güler. I mean, people rate Arda Güler. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's an Alonso player. He's a luxury player to have. He's a bit like Odegaard when he was at Madrid.
It's funny how you say that because I actually think he needs a loan. Just like Odegaard has, I think he needs a loan to go somewhere to play an entire season, consistent minutes at a high level.
That's
I think he needs that. But what confuses me about Alonso is that when he came out before he took the job, before they even kicked the ball, and he said, if you don't run, you won't play. I need hardworking players. But then he doesn't play Rodrigo, which is the only guy on that front line. Well, him and Valverde. But Valverde is more of a midfielder to me. That actually runs. And then he has two guys on the pitch who just walk about. Walk about. So I really think, then again, there's politics at Real Madrid. Maybe he comes into the job and they say, Vinicius and Mbappe will play. Those guys are blockbuster players. They're star players. Perez tell them these guys will play. Either you put a whole bunch of legs in the midfield to run for them, figure it out. You're the coach. That's why I'm paying you all this money. But I think Rodrigo will wait to see what happens with Alonso before he pushes for a move. I don't think that kid is ready to give up on his Brazilian dream of playing for Real Madrid. His idol is R9. He's not just going to put in a transfer request in because he knows that he has the quality to be there. It's not a quality issue why he isn't playing. It's just the manager's style and XYZ. And you manager might fancy him.
I have a different take, BBK. I think he goes this summer. I think he moves this summer.
Yeah?
I think he moves because it's you see, there's too much of change. Like even if Alonso says to him, Rodrigo, I prefer you to start, Vinny sits on the bench. Now, these two play together for the Brazil team as well. And more often than not, Vinny starts. I mean, historically, Vinny has started over Rodrigo. So there will be dressing room unrest because I can imagine in a dressing room like that, there are factions. Rodrigo does not come across as the guy who's loud. He's one of those who just wants to get on with business, play the game. I mean, this is all perception, right? Let me just put it out there. I'm not saying this with any sort of authority. I know as much as the rest of you do. But this is a perception thing. Like if you look at Rodrigo, if you look at all his interviews, if you look at all the behind the scenes stuff that you see on Real Madrid. He comes across as one of those students of the game, loves the game, just wants to play. He has his preferred position. However, for the greater good, I will play on the right. He's been tried on the right. He's been tried through the middle. He's played as a 10. So he's done everything Madrid has asked of him so far. But he's done that because he was part of a winning squad, and they kept winning the Champions League. They kept winning the La Liga, whatever trophy was thrown at them. But now, if you tell him, you got to play for this new manager and you've got to track back without knowing that, you're going to dominate in Europe or you're going to dominate the La Liga, I think his head is turned, because this year is crucial, as you always say, right? The World Cup here. If you think about it, on the left, you've got Vinicius Jr., who traditionally starts. You've got Rafinha, who's playing out of his skin for Barcelona on the left. So you've got two options right there who play way more games than Rodrigo does.
Yeah.
Now, if you want somebody to play on the right for Brazil, Rafinha traditionally plays on the right. So he's happier to play off the right, cut back into his left and shoot. So Rodrigo doesn't have a stage for him to perform this season.
I think Rodrigo knows. I think he knows that he won't start for Brazil, but he wants to be in the squad based on the quality in front of him. Right? I know. I know that. But big up to all 24 of y'all locked in. Hit the likes, people. See if we can get to 20 likes. Por favor, please, and thanks. But big up to Yudi from Loudmouth Football. Says, does Salah hit the regression curve this season? Last season, physically, he was done in the second half. What is she saying?
No, it's an interesting one, right? I don't think he's going to have the season he had last season. It's impossible. 28 goals, 18 assists in the league is just, mind-boggling numbers for anyone, even at their prime at 25, 26. He's done that at 32. So I don't see him repeating that. Also, again, going back to the original question we started with, what formation does Slot play? Is a very interesting one, because I've been saying to a lot of people, I see Salah moving a bit more inside forward this season. He's not going to be stuck as far wide, purely because we've got someone like Frimpong who comes in and does that bombarding forward. And Bradley, Connor Bradley, the other right back that we have, he is by nature someone who runs forward a lot as well, out wide. So I think Salah will come in a lot more, and it makes sense because Salah can play those intricate things with Wirtz, who likes that 1-2s and the little triangles that he will do with the new number 9 that comes in. So I think Salah's role will be slightly different. You'll see more assists than goals this season, and we lose him for 2 months at AFCON. So obviously his numbers are not going to be the same.
I think Salah hits 25 goals this season.
Oh wow! Okay.
I do. Yeah, I don't think he slows down one bit, bro. And this season he's gonna get at least 5 goals that he wouldn't get just off the Diogo Jota emotion.
Yeah,
that wave. Like, I feel sorry for teams when the clock hits 19, 20 minutes at Anfield. If they're under pressure already, when Diogo Jota's number hit the clock and they're gonna push the ball in the net, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I think I don't think he slows down this season one bit. I think FSG bet that he would have slowed down last season. That's why they didn't offer him a new contract, and he bet on himself and he won. I think he scores 22 to 25. His name will be in the Golden Boot conversation.
I hope so. I think you're a lot more positive on this than most Liverpool fans would be. I think we are quite realistic. I think he will get 20 in all competitions somehow. I think that is a given. In the Premier League, getting 20, I don't think it happens. Also, Wahaha, you say he'll get 15 pens. Now, if we get a number 9, it's a question of who takes it. Then
Salah takes it. Salah takes the pens. He takes the pens. Right?
I'm just saying, Darren, if someone like a Isak walks in through the door, Isak takes him. So I just think it depends on who the 9 is.
He'll take it if Salah allows it, which he probably will, because he's a nice guy, right?
That's right.
He'll probably be like, hey, I've broken all the records. But if there's a record to be caught next year,
absolutely,
like the 20 and 20, Salah is going for it.
Yeah.
Big up to UD against the Liverpool needs to get Rodrigo and a quality backup for Saka and Gakpo. This will bite us when the time comes. I mean, I think between Diaz and Gakpo, you're good on the left, no?
We are, but Diaz wants out, so I think him going to Bayern is kind of fixed. It's just all about the transfer fee at the moment. Well, that's what the media is leading us to believe today, and it's a bit of a blow. I think Diaz. I would have liked to keep him given the tragic circumstances, 2 weeks ago. But if player wants to go, we got to let him go. Again, Diaz is expecting a massive contract. I think there's been a bit of a, winning brings that. So I think now the players are a bit more, they've got a taste for winning and they want their mega contracts. And I see that from a Diaz perspective because he's never had that mega contract.
Yeah.
He's already 29, 28, getting on to 29. And, he's expecting to have that one bumper contract that he wants. And Bayern apparently are willing to offer it. So, good, fair play to him.
Yeah,
but going back to UD's question, if Diaz leaves, I expect us to go in hard for Rodrigo. And I would expect you guys to compete with us on that front. But I think we will go in super hard for Rodrigo. And he will be a good competition to have with Gakpo on the left.
I hear it. Big up to Jay, Real One, DJ Jamboy. Big up to you, bro. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the fam. Make sure you're hitting those likes and make sure you're subscribing if you are new around these parts. Big up to Gary from Don't Waste the Trip. Wahaha again says 15-25 is realistic. I hear it. Salah will get 25. Yeah, I don't think Salah drops. I think if Salah, he will drop. Yeah, I mean, he will drop to a certain level. But, when you're a world-class player, you drop your level, you become a really good player still. Yeah, so because he's a machine, man. Big up to him. I think AFCON is later on in the year this year, isn't it? Like it's late towards the.
It's actually during the crucial period of December to Jan. So he'll be missing about 7 to 8 games with cups as well.
Did you tell us how you felt about the Ekitike deal?
I'm happy. I think Ekitike. If you ask most fans before the summer window even opened, right, Ekitike was in most people's conversations, based on metrics and stuff. I do watch the Bundesliga a lot. I was watching it a lot actually for different reasons. I was watching it for Angelo Stiller at Stuttgart because I thought this summer was going to be about, the number 6 because a lot of teams needed a number 6. And I thought, that's a role I need to watch out for. I've been hearing a lot of things about Angelo Stiller and I watched a lot of Stuttgart games.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized the striker market in Bundesliga is quite fascinating because you have this bunch of strikers there between the ages of 22 to 25 who are banging in about 15 goals, or on 12 to 15 goals on average between them. So then I noticed Ekitike, obviously with the Mamouche hype, we all started looking at Eintracht a bit. And then you saw who's this other guy playing alongside Mamouche and you see it's Ekitike. And to be perfectly honest, I'm happy, but I don't think he's enough. I don't think he's experienced enough. He's 23. He's coming off just one, I wouldn't say a great season. He's had a good season for Eintracht. His goal contributions are decent. But he's 23. His profile, I don't know how much you've watched of Ekitike, but he seems like a very... you wouldn't class him as elegant, let me put it that way. He's not one of those easy on the eye kind of strikers. He'll take a bit of getting used to. He's learning it straight. He's not built for it. I don't think he's strong enough. He needs a bit of
he needs
some gym work.
I didn't see a lot of him because when I lived in Germany, I used to go watch a lot of Bundesliga games. I used to go to the stadiums, but he came to Germany in 2023. That's when I left. Right? Like when I was there, I used to go watch Jude Bellingham in person to see what the hype was about. I went the first time I saw him, I was like, okay, he's the real deal. I went to that stadium. I was like, yeah, this kid is the real deal. He's gonna.
And talking about physique, Jude is built like a tank, isn't he? He's huge. Yeah.
Is this true? That Salah is retired? He did, didn't he? I think I did hear that he had retired from international duty with Egypt. Because if he did, then AFCON is a non-effect for you.
I would hope so, but I was reading he's back in the fold. So I don't know, because there's been talks between the FA and the club and stuff like that, and the player and all of that, to seek out the possibility. But I think from a safety net perspective, we're just assuming he's going to go for AFCON.
Yeah, because how many times have we heard that Messi retired from international duty and he's still playing?
Exactly.
You're Mr. Argentina. Let's make no mistake about it. He is Mr. Egypt. If they have any chance. I think he can be pressured into especially they can. Man, you won the Premier League last year. It's not like I hear it. I think he goes.
Yeah, and he's peak. He's a peak fitness. Like if you look at the guy, even the preseason videos we're seeing, The guy just is unrelenting. Like, he is such a good example to have. I mean, we all hear this, right? It's good to have a role model in your, in your squad. Show the young guys how it's done. He is literally the absolute epitome of it. Like, if you look at all the videos, he's there the first. He's there in the gym before everyone else. He's rushing out for the field work and talking to the youngsters as well. So it's a good vibe at the moment, and it's credit to him and Van Dijk. I think the two most important signings we've made.
Yeah,
in a long time.
Yeah. You just said 80 million is wild for Ekitike. So he's a striker, right? And I think like Newcastle played. I think that's what Newcastle played for Elanga, right? I think so. I gotta give these Newcastle man some credit. I'm gonna go for specs. But like, you man set the market badly. If you pay 55 for Elanga, there is no way Frankfurt is gonna. Man, this man scores goals. 80.
And to be fair, you can't say they're asking for too much because he had a release clause of 100 anyway. So
did he?
80, yeah. So he's got a release clause of 100 million euros. So that, they're obviously not expecting to hit that, but asking for 80 in this market is fair because they know the buyer's market. It's a seller's market, right? And the buyers are desperate. There's a few decent strikers, and the rest are, just not attainable. So
it's a big up Hendo said, according to Google, he still plays for Egypt, which is weird, as he said he was too old. But I remember back the 2006 World Cup, that too old was the sentiment around Zidane, and he went there and bossed it.
Exactly.
Bossed it. Lost his head in the final, but we know what that was when they said he was too old. That man was running circles around peak Ronaldinho, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Egypt still qualified. I'm not sure. I have to dig into that.
Taryn, let me ask you the question then.
Yeah, go on.
Are you guys in for Rodrigo still?
I don't believe it. I think there's a smoke screen. I think it's gonna be Madueke, our winger. I don't think that would be a dream signing for me. An absolutely fantastic window. This is what I would agree with Arteta, that you signed Eze, you signed Gyökeres and Rodrigo. Okay, goosebumps, got it. But the fact that we prioritized and made Madueke such a important signing signals, the signal that sends to me is that no, I think Eze is the max we will get, and I'm not sure about him at this point as we sit here on what's today, the 19th of July. I'd love it, but I don't see this club making that big of a splash. I don't.
It's a pity, and we were talking earlier about Crystal Palace situation where. If they sell one player, it kind of puts the brakes on selling the other two.
Yeah.
It's happened with Brentford, hasn't it? So you look, Mbuemo is now gone to United, and Newcastle lost the Wissa option. Now they're asking ridiculous money for Wissa. So you've got to act fast. And I think this is where the people, on the other side of the fence telling you to be patient, it's a bit strange. Like, because going into this season, in fact, halfway through last season, you already knew where your gaps were, right? And the two gaps you immediately needed to address were left wing and striker. Now, both your left wing and striker options, firstly, were available in January because Kvaratskhelia was on the market, right? Yep. I was quite weirded out by the whole situation that none of the PL clubs were in. Like, how did he silently just move to PSG? Like, we read about it one day. And he was holding the jersey the next. Like, it just didn't make sense. It happened that quick, right?
Yeah.
Now, Kvaratskhelia went. Marmoush, now whether you rate Marmoush or not, if he's your kind of striker or not, he was on the market in Jan.
I rate him. Yeah, I rate him.
And I think he would have improved any side, as we've seen already. So those options were there. Now, okay, fine. January window went. I was surprised you guys didn't do anything in May, like end of May, because the other options you were looking at, obviously, Gyökeres was being talked about maybe just when the window started, but Sesko was being spoken about since last season, right? Interesting thing is, both the options you were looking at, let's make it so that Eze was the other option you were looking at, right, for left wing. Both of them have release clauses. So why wait till July, whatever it is today, 19th, 20th, in different parts of the world?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you let it go this far with release clauses. I would understand if there's a bidding war.
Yeah.
But if it's release clauses, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. What it tells me is that there was no clear plan. because a clear plan doesn't have this many hiccups in it.
Yeah.
It's that we're winging it. We're trying to figure it out as we go. If there was a clear plan where you didn't spend in January, Bertha came in January, the plan starts then. You're like, Bertha, you don't sign for the club in January with a deferred start date till the summer, bro. You hit the ground and you start planning the club's future. I don't think there was a clear plan unless there is disagreement between him and Arteta, which should happen, right? A sporting director and a coach will have this.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but I just don't think they're singing from the same hymn sheet when we're linked to Sesko for 3 weeks, then it's Gyökeres, and then it just goes around the cycle, and then we're at this stage and it still isn't done. Yeah, cause for concern. But
yeah,
the overarching point that I walk away from it is that the club really doesn't have a clear plan of what they really want to do. I wanted Carver badly from the first recent Napoli league win. And the thing is, like, the fact that he went to PSG so quick, because Napoli historically are very difficult to negotiate with. Right?
Exactly.
I remember there were so many clubs that were in for Koulibaly when he was in his prime, and they could not pry him away from Napoli. And then he ended up at Chelsea when he was done. So
yeah, but the Chelsea move was ridiculous money as well, if you remember. Yeah. It was a massive sum they paid for him.
Yeah, man, he is fit as a fiddle, bro. I think he hits 22, 25 league goals next year easily. Like, very, very easily, actually. Because this is the thing. This season, Salah doesn't have to give you 18 assists versus there.
No.
So he can go back to being Mo Salah. So all that creativity that you're losing from Trent, you have one of the most creative players in the world coming into your team. Yeah, I think Mo Salah.
Well, conversely, the flick-ons or the through balls he plays, the new number 9 is potentially going to convert a lot better, So
yeah,
his assists might be up there still. It's a good situation to be in for us. I'm not going to lie. It's a nice one. I still do think we need one centre back, hopefully 2, just as a safety net, and we need 2 forward players still. So
yeah,
there's work to be done.
Yeah, plenty. I think there's quite a few teams that are licking their wounds over the Kvaratskhelia deal. But like, how did we miss that, bro?
That was just crazy. And the money wasn't crazy, It's like 60 million or something, 63 million, I think it was in the end.
Yeah, so imagine paying 63 for him and then 55 for Elanga. There's a $8 million gap there, but the quality is the quality is massive.
Yeah.
My guess is Cabra was targeted by Enrique, told him I want to come to PSG, and they made the deal. Yeah, I mean, Luis Enrique is a well-renowned manager. Now he has 2 troubles to his name, so
And this is going back to the argument about having a manager with a bit of a reputation or a winning history.
Yeah, it matters.
It always helps. Yeah.
Imagine that. Doesn't work for us though. Big up LFC Monster. That's a big reason for us last summer only to go for Zubi and end up with Chiesa. Edwards/Hughes work in the way they planned this all summer long. Yeah. So compare and contrast. Liverpool looked like they had a clear plan. As soon as the window opened, bang, we're doing our business. We're doing our business. That tells me that you men know what you're doing. The fact that we are flying to Singapore either today or tomorrow without a striker, but we've needed a striker for not for 1, not 2, but 3 seasons now. Yeah, concerns me.
But let me give you a bit of context on this as well, right? This whole thing about it working so well with Edwards and Hughes and all of that. It is working now, and this is how it should work. But it didn't in some of the years with Klopp, which is why Edwards left in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, it needs a bit of humility on both sides, right? On one side, from the recruitment team telling you, this is the players we're looking at, these are the metrics, and we think this will help you in your 4-3-3 or 3-4-2-1 or whatever formation you're looking at, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if a manager is hard-headed and says, no, I just want player A, and I don't want anyone else, it's not going to work. So obviously it didn't work for us when manager outweighed the recruitment team's decision when it came to Nunes, which is now well documented. And we saw how that played out. And it was big money as well. So you need both of them to have a bit of humility, both sides, to say, here are my sets of arguments and where are yours, and let's make the best decision out of it. So it's working now because Slot is not our manager. Slot is our head coach. And he likes that head coach role where he says, I just want to coach the players. I just want to, take care of match day affairs and look forward to the season, basically, and get me those players that I need to fill for this particular formation. So it's a teamwork kind of thing, right? It requires a bit of humility on both sides for it to work.
Yeah. And speaking of context, right? Is there anything is possible in the world of football, right? So in the world of football, that the word signing doesn't work, right? Say it doesn't work. Say he just doesn't adapt to the Prem well. There could be fallout from that, because I've read reports that because it was Klopp that wanted Darwin and it didn't work. It was big money to spend on Darwin, and it didn't work. There was some fallout from that. But to be fair to Klopp, he had built up enough clout, enough of a reputation to do that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, and you get some wrong, you get some right. Like when I even give credit, I give credit to Arteta for the ones that he did get right, like Timber, and a couple others. But you've gotten more wrong than right. That's not the case with Klopp. He got more right than wrong.
Yeah.
But the 85 million at a time when you weren't spending money, it does look bad. But it is what it is. But if there's one manager that could have had a blunder at that stage in his career, I get it. I completely get it. You know?
Yeah, again with the words thing, right? I'm with you. I think it's one of those you can buy. I mean, look at Mbappe at Madrid, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, he's got good individual numbers, but the team has nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Now, do you classify that as a good signing or a bad signing? Because in my opinion, without Mbappe, a regular number 9, I think they'd have won more as a team.
I can hear that.
With a lot less outlay, right? Because you could have had a more cohesive team, I think, with more people dropping back and helping out defensively and stuff. I mean, whatever the argument is, right? Mm-hmm. So I see that thing with Wirtz. I mean, it's no guarantee that he's going to hit the ground running. Now, again, it comes, then you got to contextualize that statement to say, what is it that you're expecting out of Wirtz? Mm-hmm. The comfort blanket that I put over this is he's a number 10. He's not a striker. So you're not going to purely measure him on goals. You're not going to measure him. You measure him more on assists. I think how you affect the play, right? So he's got a bit more leeway in terms of adapting and process and phases, as you guys like to say on your side. So he will be given a bit more time to adapt into the role. The number 10 is given a bit more time to do that. A striker, if you spend 100 million on a striker, you expect him to deliver a set number of goals and goal contributions. So again, it depends how you want to say has he worked, has he not worked. Now, would I care? Do I care? Nunes was part of the team last season because we won the league. I don't give a shit. He just scored 6 goals. It doesn't matter to me.
But he did contribute because I remember 2 of those goals were in Brentford when it was 0-0.
Brentford was important. Newcastle.
So he did contribute. He did contribute. So I mean,
he did, but from a metric perspective, if you look at it just from a metric,
it looks poor.
You look at it and say a striker, number 9, 85 million transfers, just got you 6 goals. It doesn't sound good at the end of the day. But those 6 goals, when you break it down, they were very crucial goals, actually, all of them that he scored.
Yeah. Does he go?
Nunes is gone. Nunes is gone for sure. I'd be amazed if he's at the club at the end of the transfer window.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I'm saying Ekitike is not enough. We need 2. We need Ekitike plus someone. Now, if that's Rodrigo or if that's another striker, remains to be seen. Actually, I mean, I got a lot of flack for saying this. I would actually be happy with the Ollie Watkins,
Yeah.
Just to be that second striker, come in for cup games, give a bit more guidance to Ekitike, for example. Someone of Ollie Watkins' nature, like that sort of experience, that's not going to cost you a bomb to come in. So I do think we need 2 strikers.
Yeah, I don't think Ollie Watkins is a bad shout, because he got benched for Rashford. Like he knows what it is to be a backup striker, and it's a quality backup. So Watkins. Oh shit, Mr. Batter just disappeared. I was about to ask him Watford. I mean, not Watford. Watkins or Origi. Watford. But while Mr. Batter just disappeared from this stream, why he just disappeared? Dal is in the house.
I don't know what happened. I got kicked out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But yeah, Origi or Watkins?
Origi of now.
No, Origi that deputized.
Oh my God, Origi all day. Like he was. Oh, he was special for us.
But is there a gulf in quality though between him and Watkins? Because I think he was like I think Origi was just very clutch. In clutch moments, he came up, right? Be cold on the bench for 6-7 games running. Game number 8.
Love to score against Everton.
Yeah, Merseyside, he comes in and he bangs. So
yeah,
I think Watkins would be a good shot for Liverpool as a backup striker to Ekitike or whoever. Welcome down the Oregon.
What's up, man? What's going on? What's up, Battle Red?
Yeah.
Hi, Del. How you doing?
We're good.
You're
What's
good,
going on, guys?
So, hey, we beat Watford 3-0, man. What we say?
I just got up like an hour and a half ago, so I good. That's expected. That's what I expect, right? That should be there should be no kinks or humps in the road for that. That should have been an easy 3-0 win. So
who scored, by the way?
Who scored?
It's all rumors. It's all rumors. I've heard this. I heard it was Ben White, Odegaard free kick, and some other. The details are very sketchy right now. There are no lineups.
Okay.
But I think it'll come out sooner or later. Who played, but the boys are supposed to be off the Singapore. Yeah, go on.
That's what I expect from us. If we were to draw Watford 1-1 or 0-0, that's embarrassing. It doesn't matter if the season started. It doesn't matter preseason, whatever you want to call it. There's no way we should even be looking at Watford as like a challenge, right? So I'm glad we went in there and beat them 3-0. I mean, that's just get up on the right foot. You have to start winning to get the winning mentality to get things going. And Battle Red knows this. Right? You got to start winning, bro. You got to start getting the 3 points, no matter who is on the fixture list. You have to.
But let me tell you about last summer, right? Last summer, 99% of our fan base didn't know who the hell Arne Slot was.
Yeah.
Right. We had no clue who the hell he was. So going into the preseason, we were like, as long as we don't embarrass ourselves in the preseason games and come back, with as few injuries as possible, we're good. But I tell you what, I think it was the game against you guys in the US. I think it was in Philadelphia, was it? Or
the game
that was last season.
Yeah,
last season. Yeah.
That's when I said to my friends while watching the game, I said, this looks tactically very astute. I think that game, we really outplayed you on for several minutes. It wasn't the whole game, but there was several, junctures of the game where you could see what he was trying to do. And it was looking really good. And we were like, okay, might go get into this season doing well. So preseason, I think, is a mixed bag. Like we've had, as a club, some wonderful preseasons and some shit preseasons, and then the actual season plays out differently as well. So.
Let me tell you about it, Red. When you see Liverpool versus Watford, your expectation is 3 points, no matter what, right? No matter what. It's a disappointment if you drew that game versus Watford. It'd be a huge disappointment to lose 1-0 or 2-1 to Watford. And you guys are already at that level. You have the trophy in your pocket. So you can kind of look and glaze over the preseason and like, okay, we're ready August 16th though, right? Mm-hmm. But for us, we have to prove to ourselves that we can even compete now because this manager is still lost he's obviously lost in his first 11. He will have problems with his first 11. We all know that. BBK knows that right from the get-go because we get Goiker is fantastic. Where does that put Havertz? Left mid. Well, Rice plays there. Yeah. So it all kind of melds into this bowl of spaghetti that he's not going to be able to straighten out, bro.
Yeah. And that's why. And now, even if we get Gyökeres, he's not in your preseason.
Yeah, Gyökeres isn't there.
Yeah, he isn't there. So whatever he's trying to do with your striker, he's not there. So I don't know what he's going to do with preseason.
Moreno up front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are Arteta and we're linked, say it's not Gyökeres, say it was Erling Haaland or if it's Isak, right? It's a top striker. And you're about to go on preseason and you're linked with him haggling over $5 million. If you're Arteta, you're banging down the door at Bertha, be like, bro, I'm not going on preseason without this guy.
Right.
How you going preseason without your striker? So this all the signals that I'm getting is that confirms what I already thought. Like Arteta really don't fancy Gyökeres. He really doesn't. So if you just, bro, I'm not going on preseason without my striker. You pay the 2.5 million or 5 million, whatever. I don't care. You take it out of the Madueke budget. Well, we haggle over Madueke on the deadline day. Right, but you get this guy because if Arteta wants to win the league, who do you think is more important to us, Mikhail? Gyökeres or Madueke?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you prioritize and you go with your plan. I don't want to hear deadline day, he's coming across the line. No, but we're already at a disadvantage. Verts and Mo Salah are on the pitch right now, learning how to link up right now. He's linking up with Gakpo and Nunes right now. We get no advantage from waiting.
Right.
And Arteta, he needs every advantage he can
100%.
get. You know, because we're competing with better squads and better managers. So,
and I keep going back to this, like all the signings you're trying to do are release clauses. It just baffles me that you're fumbling around with a release clause.
Right.
yeah.
I would understand if there's like 3 or 4 clubs trying to like bidding, do a bidding war over the player. These are clear-cut release clauses. Like it's shocking the way it's going.
Well, we're just trying to save $1,
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
all we're
I'm hearing we're trying to play the Eze release clause in installments when it should even get to the bid phase. That even gives me more concern, because now if Bayern Munich comes in for him and put the money down, he goes to Bayern. He goes there. He links up with Elise because Jamal Musiala is out for a long time. Bayern actually has a need for a number. So Arsenal thinks that the world just revolves around us, and everyone's going to sit and wait while we drag our feet with these transfers. We did it with Declan. Thankfully, he really wanted to come to us for whatever reason. But
I did see a few top Gunners, change their tone after the Musiala injury, because prior to that, all of you guys on this side of the fence were saying, what if there are other clubs that come in? And when the Musiala injury happened, now Bayern is the perfect case in point. They are the competition for Arsenal and Liverpool. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Like all the positions they need, we need. Your club needs it, our club needs it. Left winger, striker. That's what Bayern is looking for as well.
Yes.
And if you let Bayern in the door, they're going to outpay both of our clubs easy, because they can pay more wages. They can pay whatever needs to be paid.
Yeah, they pay handsome wages. And Munich is a fantastic city to live in, bro. I'll tell you, it's a great place to live. But with Eze thing, there's also another scenario, right, where he could do a Cunha, where we could wake up tomorrow morning and hear breaking news: Eze signs a new deal at Palace with an $85 million release clause. Because he wants to be a solid, because they lost Elise, they might lose Gehi, and they might lose Wharton. So for Palace to get $85 million to reinvest into their squad going into Europe, he could do him a solid. And then Arsenal will say, can't afford him now. But yesterday's price was $60 million, and you haggled, and you went on preseason without your striker and all the players that we need to bridge the gap on Man City and Liverpool, and you didn't. This is negligence. This is gross negligence on the behalf of a Premier League title. It seems like Man City and Liverpool are running towards it, and we're running from that motherfucker. We're going the other way. We're running away from it.
Because there's no urgency in what we've done. There's no urgency. Who makes Kepa their first signing? It's been Goicoechea, and where do we sign Kepa? I mean, I get in Madwecki. To be honest, I don't think it's that bad of a signing, because we have seen what Kai Havertz can and can't do in the red and white.
Yeah.
It was better than what he did in blue, right? Obviously the Champions League goal, but other than that, he did squat at Chelsea. Yeah. But if you go back to January 2024, we went on that goal scoring spree. I think 34 goals scored and like 5 or 6 conceded, and Kai Havertz was pivotal in that run. So if we can at least get some of that from Madwecki, I don't think it's that bad of a signing. It's not the signing we all wanted, right? But I do think this kills the Rodrigo signing. And actually, I think Rodrigo stays at Madrid, to be honest. I think things are going to work out. And if Vinny goes, there's no reason for them to get rid of Rodrigo. Because Vinny's already looking at, 450 grand a week at Saudi, right? Did they come in for him the other day?
I think they
so.
did.
I mean, the Madwecki thing's not bad, but again, I don't know, man. It's just our priorities and our emphasis on getting the right players in at the right time. Like Goicoechea should have been done like weeks ago, right? That should have been the primary one done. But it's like when you hear Kepa and then just Norgard, which I think Norgard's decent, right? And then I saw somebody on YouTube trying to explain to me why he's better than Thomas Partey. It's like, no, just stop right now, right? We all know he's not as good, but it's more depth, but it's not the depth we're asking. But again, it's the urgency that we make these signings. We're not urgent in signing Goicoechea. We're not urgent in getting Rodrigo, right? We watched City spend 130 mil and get 3 top players. We watched Liverpool go for the German wonder kid, and now they're looking at Rodrigo themselves because Diaz is actually a pretty good bargaining token for 65, 75 mil. and he would probably slot in pretty good at Madrid, to be honest. And that's an even swap in 10 mil for Rodrigo. So, I just think at this point in time, I agree, BBK. We're behind the pack. And that's what I said earlier. Like every game we play, no matter if it's closed doors against Watford, we have to win just to build mentality. Liverpool can glide through, right? If we're going to face Tottenham in Singapore, we have to win. We're going to face Milan, we have to win. There's no draws. There's no, we lost 2-1 because so-and-so made a mistake. I'm done with that. The only mistakes that should come out of this club are the mistakes that Arteta is going to be making. We have the squad now, and it's going to just get better with Gyökeres. It's going to get better if we get, maybe a center mid in. I'm thinking Quentin Timber. I want those two players. Bedwecki's fine. Nordegaard's fine. But again, it's the urgency and the priorities of the signings that got me very, very upset already at Arteta and this regime.
Well, what's your, for both of you, what's your expectation, Gyökeres? I mean, in all likelihood, it's done, right?
1 second. One second, Mr. Barrett. I have to pause the stream for a second, just for 1 second. For 1 second, because I have to big up my brother Views. I have to just 1 second. I have to big up Views.
No new striker in the plane.
No, the reason why I have to big up Views, bro, is because Views just sent me my very first super chat of BBK.
Oh, snap. Nice.
I've been streaming with this brother for the longest. You didn't have to do that, bro, but big up to you, man. I'm greatly, greatly appreciated. Not only is a no striker on he said there's no new striker on the plane. I don't think there is a striker on the plane.
No.
There is no striker on the plane, bro.
No.
Is Jesus? Did he even know? And Havertz is not a damn striker. Gary, what you saying, bro? What you saying?
Hello,
hey, Gary.
Thanks for me on. Hello, Mr. Bati Red and Oregon Goon. Everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. Yeah, what do I think about
us going off to Singapore without that striker?
Yeah. No, we need a striker on that. We need a striker on that plane. I'm worried, not necessarily worried, but like you said, I mean, it's more we need to gel yesterday. We need to gel last January when Watkins should have come in. We need to gel last summer when a striker should have come in. We need to gel the year before that when we still needed a striker, right? We need to gel the sooner the better. I mean, if this was, like Zubimendi was done as soon as possible, right? Our striker needed that same priority, right? Because we haven't lost much because of our defense. We're losing everything because we don't have the attack that we want, all right? And that's still, an issue. I know they're going back and forth, and there's reasons for it, but yeah, no, like you said, we're behind the 8 ball again. We're gonna have to try to catch up again,
as usual.
We shouldn't need to do that. We should have just as many numbers as we do in the front line as we do in the back line. You look at our back line. We're solid. We got 2 at every spot. If Curio doesn't leave, we have two at every spot.
Mm-hmm.
On our attack side, we barely got. We don't have 2. we barely have 1 in some cases. People will say, all right. We don't think Kai is a number 1 starter for us. We don't think Trossard and Martinelli are number 1 left wings for us, and all we got is Saka. All right, so we're missing number 1s at 2 spots on the front line, and I was hoping that we're gonna rush this Madueke deal through, and then hopefully get the striker and Eze in, and then I'll feel a little comfortable. Still think we need a left wing, but I'll be comfortable with those 2 players being on the plane. They're not on the plane, and they won't be on the plane. They'll probably miss the first game at the least. Hopefully that's the most, right? And we'll be able to move on. So yeah, no, we're playing with our hands behind our back again, a little handcuff there. It might not be an issue, but I still feel like, what, get it done. I mean, this team is all about marketing and stuff like that when it comes to pushing players' names out there when they bring them in. This is the same thing when you don't bring him in soon enough as well. But I'm not necessarily concerned, but we're now asking Arteta to do something he doesn't do, which is to be a lot quicker with his integrating players into the squad. Right? That's the thing that we might be okay, but still, I'd rather have day one. Gyökeres is in the starting lineup. Our left wing is in the starting lineup. Saka and them have played together in preseason multiple times, and where we've seen it, they've seen it in the back, with the games behind doors and all of that, and then we're ready to go. And then we figure out from there whether we got the pieces we needed. So, yeah, we've got to be patient. They want us to be patient. I don't want to be patient, but but they're going to be patient with what they're doing. I think Berta's doing the best he can under the situation. I think there's, as it seems, a lot of work that's been done that's kind of maybe handcuffed him a little bit. And I feel like this first two windows that he has are not what Berta is going to bring. Like I think a year from now we'll be looking at this totally different, because everything that Berta wants will be in place, and we'll be doing things a lot more efficiently because he would have had a time to figure out what we need going forward. So I don't think Berta's to blame for any of this. I think he could only deal with what he had, the timing that he had. Even though people think he had 3 months and so to get ready, I think he needed a little bit more time to get that done. I'm not. Sure. I don't think he's the issue as much as basically Arsenal as a whole needs is the issue. So that's kind of my thinking. They want us to wait. I don't want to wait, but they want us to wait. I'm getting too old to get all upset about it.
Right.
So that's the difference.
You can't ever be too old to be upset.
I'm more upset about my lower back in the morning than I am Arsenal.
But I mean, regardless, I still feel like the manager can get the job done. All right, he can still get the job done with what we got. You look at our, we have legitimately our starting lineup right now, even with no changes. But we definitely need changes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We could start the line.
Gary, on that point, right? Isn't it more difficult? I think this was discussed in the stream a couple of streams ago about, does Arteta need to adapt his team's game to Gyökeres, or does Gyökeres need to adapt to how the team is playing? If you don't even have him on preseason, how are you expecting him to do it on game day one?
That's why it probably will be time because of that right there, because he's not going to get in on time. But I think he should be part of, like if there's like, if somebody's coming off the bench, he should be part of that. He should be coming off the bench no matter what first game. You know what I mean? We're playing Manchester United. If he can't come in for that game, regardless of how much practice time he's got, then we got problems, right? So we're down 2-0, we're up 2-0. It doesn't matter. He comes in. You know what I mean?
But the reason I ask as well is because for 5 years you've not had a striker, or three and a half years you've not had a striker. So he doesn't know how to use a striker.
Well, yeah, he thinks he had a striker. That's the problem. I think maybe Berta has told him, "Look, you don't have what you think you have. I'm going to put I'm going to put two options on the table. We're getting one of them, and you're going to have to work with that player." I think that's what we've done. Whereas in the past, we would have just went from Shesko, realized we're not going to pay the fee, and then we couldn't get it done. At least Berta said, "No. We're going to have two options for everything we get. And they're both going to be legitimate options for us. It doesn't matter if you say yes or no to which one. We're getting one of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. so I think that's the difference in the way that we're going to work now. We're not going to be handcuffed by just one option. Anytime we look for a player, we're going to have options.
Part of us too, Gary, is that we could have had the Victor Gyökeres done in January. Let's be real. Yeah. We could have gotten the deal done and said, okay, after the season, all you do is slot right in July 1st, right? We don't think that way.
Sporting is not going to do that. I hear you, but I don't think Sporting was going to do that. Not the way they handle their business, right?
Right. And also because they're a publicly traded company too. I was listening to this the other day. Like Man United, Sporting is a publicly traded club. So when they sell Gyökeres as an asset, right, it has to go through some sort of like stockholder approval. Like this isn't a very straightforward deal from what I've heard. Yes, he's probably coming to Arsenal. Yes, his heart's there. Yes, he has taken a salary cut. All those rumors are true, right? Because they've all been verified by some authoritative football sources, not some other YouTube personalities, so to speak, right? But the thing is that if like you said, we're always behind, and that's a very good point. We're 6 months behind. We could have had him sign pen to paper in January. We could have had this ironed out in January.
You can't talk January to me, because in January, as if I was in charge, we would have had Watkins. And I would have paid the $20 million extra to have him, because guess what? He'll at least give me gave me better odds to win something. Everybody keeps talking about I want you to come home with something. Watkins would have been that player to give us something, because guess what?
Right.
We don't lose to Villa if Watkins is on our side. That game's done, right?
Right. But last season, if we were talking about Watkins, last January, it would have mattered because Liverpool was so far ahead. And that's why I didn't think we bought a striker then, because they saw that Liverpool was like 10 points ahead of us.
4 competitions.
That's
we
Watkins to go chase a Premier League title that's already out of our hands. And I know that I pretty much have a good idea, like you would too, that this ownership and board's not going to do that. They're not going to shell out $50 million for Watkins when we're 10 points behind Liverpool in the league. I agree with you.
They take risks all the time. They're taking a risk on
Madueke
for 50. No. He's worth almost 20 mil more than people would pay for him. So right there, you're taking a 15 to 20 mil risk on a player that people think he's not even a left wing. You're going to put him out to the left wing.
Right.
You're telling me a striker that actually is a legitimate 15 to 25 goal striker. You don't want to take a risk on that one, because why? No, come on, because we take risks all the time. Like we took risks with Fabio Vieira, Sambi. You look at all those players that were just like they gotta go. They gotta go.
They gotta go.
They didn't have. We took risks on them, and you add it all up. It's a lot of money at the end of the day. Whereas you spent a lot of money on other players, and the only one, Fabio Vieira, is the only one I think that did not pan out. Everybody over 30, the number is typically worked out. Moreno is a new one for us, right?
Right.
But in general, everything before that, it doesn't work out when it works out when it's over 30 mil. You get what you pay for sometimes.
That's
right?
true. When you want to buy a Yugo, don't expect a Ferrari.
Yeah, so I we brought Sambi in to find our new Vieira. That was the thing, right?
No, he was coaching the Belgian youth team and said he was good.
He's not in player management, all right?
Right. No, I get it. But when you hit the nail on the head so earlier too, is that we're always behind, right? And I already feel like it was said earlier, we're already behind City. We're already behind Liverpool. Right? They've got their main targets in already. And they're already bled into the system and playing, preseason football, while we're dicking around with $5 million. I mean, it's stupid, bro. The whole way we approach this is stupid, and that's why I'm saying I think Roberto's not fully to blame, but I think he has to hold the bag a little bit on this, because he was supposed to be touted as coming in all these years at Atletico Madrid, and he's a deal maker. Well, why hasn't Gyökeres held up the 9 shirt yet? And he's been here since February.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. I'll tell you what. You want to see the fan base go into meltdown? Let the internet picture Gyökeres in a sporting kit back at training. Everyone will go into a complete meltdown, because then it would be okay.
I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it's just going to take longer than we want. But
here's Gary. Say for example, hold on 1 second. Say for example, the Gyökeres deal falls through. Is there a contingency plan or emergency for another striker?
Watkins would be the easy break seal right away. Watkins would be Marino, you got to get Watkins like yesterday. If that were to happen, because that's not going to answer all the questions, but that's the only thing right now that will like calm it down just a little bit. That's only that would be like the easiest thing to do, to at least say, look, I have a striker and I need a legitimate one. Do you go back to Shesko and see if if RB Leipzig has realized that, guess what? You're not going to get that money. You know what I mean? But
well, there's always Chelsea and Latvian Guna's favorite, Nico Jackson.
Nobody, didn't hear what you just said. Everything just went blank over here. You started talking. You said something about team in blue, and it just went dead. Didn't hear you. Sorry. That didn't happen.
Yeah. Don't put that energy.
Oh, they do have a striker. This is
It was that damn Shane Gooner. It was that damn Shane Gooner that put this Madueke energy in the atmosphere. Yeah, I'm blaming Shane for this. Yeah.
We've hit our limit.
I have a feeling Madueke will produce. I have a feeling that he will score some important goals. Maybe not a lot, but some important goals, like the Nicholas Bentner type, right? Lord Bentner. As much as we go around to see him play, he scored important goals, right? He won us, I think, a cup against.
You're bringing back some bad memories.
Right. I was just gonna say that the problem with it is that we heard Sterling was gonna come back and rejuvenate his career, right? And that's why we're all gonna temper our expectations, right? He's gonna come out really ready to go. We see, but still, it's like. Your man came in last time, and we got the same talk, and guess what we got out of him?
Right.
Arteta's looking at his bench, going, "I need an attacker. All I got is I don't got anybody. I don't got anybody. I got Sterling, but I that's like nothing. He's sit there, but I can't bring him on. That's where we got to. So Madueke is going to have a lot of pressure on him from the fans." Yeah. So hopefully he's ready for it because it's coming no matter whether we like it or not. If he has to, he started on that left wing
yesterday. He's playing number 20.
Right? Yeah.
He's got the number 20 shirt.
Right, Arteta. It is the transfer window. We need a striker and we need a winger. What we don't need is a defensive player. Saka's injured. Okay, say what I just said.
I signed a defensive.
No! Where'd you get that from?
Sorry.
Try again.
We need a striker.
Yes.
We need a winger.
Yes.
I signed a defensive midfielder.
No, wait, get this. It must make it from. Wait, what did you do?
Okay, so I signed Zubimendi.
What?
I'm ready to take corners.
We play in open play. Guys. The doctor said Saka's out till March. Please get him to sign. I'm trying to get Arteta to sign, so we signed Zubimendi. I can't take it anymore. Zubimendi's a senior. What do you want me to do? Batsky's missing chances. We can't live like this. Wait, hold on. You're here to play right now, right?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Oh.
She's gonna join us in the summer.
What? Oh my God. For the love of Arsene Wenger. So we have Havertz till the summer. Just like Gabriel Striker, he scores goals. Just like Gabriel Striker.
That's 1,000% correct.
Have Havertz.
It's
that was
perfect description.
That was made months ago, and we still don't have a striker like that. The fans know him too well. The managers know him too well. So predictable.
Yeah,
and we need Gyökeres. None of these Premier League defenders ever played against them except for ours.
Yep. Well, the City defenders did, but they didn't have any fun. Yeah. Here's the thing. It'd be good to have him come in because he's already played against us and had a really poor experience. Now he's going to be practicing against them all the time. And what did they say? Sharp steel, or whatever that phrase is. He's going to be playing against some of the best
sharpened steel
in the country, much less the world. He's only going to get better for it. So yeah, there you go.
That's a good point.
Yep.
So that's been our problem,
Mr.
right?
Sorry.
Now,
Mr. Barrett, are you paying this? This 150?
Yeah.
Is coming out. You paying it?
Yeah.
This
is what I said to you in the previous streams in the chat, right? Like I said, this whole thing is going to play out when the striker says, I want to move, and Newcastle's going to put a price. So this whole Saudi experiment. So if you saw the news articles yesterday and day before, they were saying Al Hilal is going to buy Isak and then loan him back to Newcastle and whatnot for PSR things.
Right.
People laughed at me when I said to them, Newcastle's got PSR.
Oh. Yeah. Saudis
150 isn't a bad deal for him, so I don't, it's not.
They're crazy.
I mean, it sounds like a lot for what Liverpool's already been doing, but you know what? It's not a terrible deal. You pay to 150, you get Isak. I mean, there's no problem with that.
Went on
right?
a free. Did Trent Alexander go on a free?
Yep.
So Real Madrid ended up paying 10 mil to get him early for the Club World Cup.
10 mil?
They paid him to get him just to get him early to go. To lose.
Wow.
Big up to Yasser TV and the panel. Big up to you, bro. Hope you are well. Yeah. The
If Arsenal had actually rang the phone to Newcastle and they said, if you're willing to pay, you take him. That's where I would have started. That's where I would have started. I would have started with, let's just get Isak in and we'll figure out the rest later, right? Isak, Zubimendi, because we needed a replacement for for a 6 regardless. I don't know who's a better 6 than Zubimendi is that's available to us, but we needed to get a 6 based on what we've seen happen. So those 2 players for over 200, that's a starting point, and you go from there, right? So that's my take. I know it sounds like a lot of money for 2 players, but you got to do it. I mean, Liverpool is talking about doing that, more than that for 2 players. So
you would have bought Kepa and Norgard first, huh?
No, you know what? Those are easy deals to do, and we saw that, right?
Exactly.
So it's not. It wasn't a priority order. It was one of those things where you're like, you walk into through the store, you see something, you got to buy it now. It's sitting right there. You just buy it now. You move on to the next, the big fish, right?
You plainly put it out there. No urgency, no priority. Gyökeres would have been done July 1st, and Zubimendi would have been done July 1st, because July 1st I think was the official window, right? There wasn't the window open a bit in June? But really, the official window is July 1st, right? Yeah, so we could have even done all this in June. But no, we get, again, our priorities mixed up because we're so worried about David Raya getting injured that we got to get Kepa in. But we already have 3 other goalkeepers because we bought 4 of them in 5. We got 5 goalkeepers in 4 transfer windows, and we got 7 left backs. I mean, again, Gary, you're absolutely right. It's just the priority of signings is so off the fucking wall. I'm sorry to swear, but it's just watching this club for almost 30 years, bro. And we've never really acted like this a transfer window. Maybe in the latter years of Wenger, but nothing in middle 2000s era Wenger, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, were we ever this confused in a transfer window? Ever. I thought we started losing the plot in the transfer window that one window where we only bought Peter Cech. And I kind of thought that was the downhill from there. Right. And it's really kind of been a messy shit show since then. And that was 2013 when we bought Cech, I think. Something like that. So Gyökeres should have been done. Zubimendi should have been done all within June. I mean, I know it's done.
Conversation away from Gyökeres for a bit, right? And I asked, if that deal goes tits up, what's the contingency emergency? Say the Eze deal. Say we're actually serious about Eze, and then that deal doesn't go through. Is there a alternative that you like, Gary?
Well, I know Xavi Simons is available now. So if we are if Bert is doing his job, he's looking at both right now, right?
Yep.
Like we saw for our strikers, right? So if he's doing that and he knows Xavi Simons is an option, then that's another option. I mean, the only concern everybody has with Xavi Simons is, will he be able to hold up in a Premier League season, right? Eze can barely hold up, I think, to some degree sometimes, but he's already done it. So Xavi Simons technically would be able to do it, but physically, would he be able to handle it? I'm not, that's the question mark there. But that would be the other. He would give us definitely the creativity that we need in that midfield, right?
There's also the small matter of him being at Leipzig.
Yeah,
and you guys at Leipzig aren't best friends.
So very true. Maybe they find the funds and they don't have to deal with that much back and forth. I don't know. Well, you know what? Yes and no. I mean, I don't think the price for Šeško was the price they had thought about. They were thinking they were going to buy him for in the summer or in January, right? Mm-hmm. For me, whoever was selling Šeško in the summer did a bad job.
Yeah.
All you had to do was look at the lineup and say, why don't you want to come? Tell me why you don't want to come. Look at this lineup. This is our starting striker going into the season. What don't you see there? What do you see there that's means you have to go back and work on your game for another year? Work on it with us, right? We want you today. He should have brought him in the summer, get his head turned, right? And that's where Berter, I think, and Edu are different. Berter would have probably got his head turned, and then you see how that works with a player. Basically, most players saying we want Arsenal, and then it just moves on from there, right? So I think that's the difference. They didn't sell Šeško in the summer. That made it easy for him to just say,
was it the release clause thing that pissed off the Arsenal side?
Well, a player's head's turned because he wants
raising
to
it.
makes it a little bit easier to negotiate at that point, right?
No, I mean, he wanted a release clause in his contract that asked.
Oh, the one now, but I mean, in the
Yeah.
summer, maybe he wasn't thinking. Who knows if he was thinking that in the summer? That's the
Yeah.
thing I don't know. Now I don't know why he wants that. I don't. I mean that could. I don't know. It's called So I just think the number now is too high for what he's going to offer. So that's more probably a RB licensing thing, but I don't think Xavi Simmons is going to would cost you anywhere near that. So
right,
I think he's still around 45, 50, if I remember. So.
What about not Pat's about to say Patrick, Justin Kluivert? What do you think of him as an attacking? Fancy him?
There are a lot of Premier League players that I would bring in. Yeah, if we had to step back and if we don't get our numbers, then late in the window, there are a lot of Premier League players you've watched in Bournemouth and all these other teams that you're like, you know what, they've played this, they've actually succeeded. They're going to play on a better team. We should expect to get better from them. So yeah, Justin Kluivert would be a good. I mean, yeah, I could
absolutely.
At some point, you're gonna have. You might. Hopefully, we don't have to do that. That's the thing, because we'll be even further behind if we're like looking at him late in August, talking about bringing him in because we failed on everything else. But that would look bad for Berta. I like to think Berta's gonna get like Eze or whoever sooner than that, right?
Darren, this goes back to the whole thing about patience. It's silly. This is what happens when you don't get stuff done, because then you start compromising on what you need. Because Arsenal should not be looking at, I mean, with all due respect, at Bournemouth for Kluivert. You know what I mean?
Well,
that's why I call it a lot higher.
I rate Kluivert.
Contingency or the emergency. Like you have your primary, your alternate, your contingency, emergency. It's your pace plan. Yeah. We're down to the C right now, Gary.
I mean, you got people saying we should bring. People are saying we should bring Wizza in, and I'm like, I don't like. Is that your primary? I don't think it was. So I think we're supposed to be looking higher than that. And like, if they're gone, they're gone. Yeah. I mean, that's. I don't.
So Justin Kluivert could really be another Reece Nelson. Let's be honest, but I think that he's a bit more refined than that. I know he played quite a bit at Roma, and he's from the Ajax Academy. And obviously, it's Patrick Kluivert's son, so he's been kicking a football since he was 2 years old. No, I rate Justin Kluivert, but you guys are absolutely right. We go from Rodrigo, Madueke to now to Kluivert, and we settled on. We spent $50 million on Madueke, which is, two-thirds of the money we could have been spending on Rodrigo if we were really serious. But if we were really serious and had any balls, and if Berta had any balls, we would go after Lautaro Martinez with $180 million bid. Because Lautaro Martinez, to me, is the next best under Gyökeres. Right? I like Eze too, but for now, forget Eze. We've already got Madueke. Go big and go for Lautaro Martinez if Gyökeres falls through. That I think Gyökeres is going to be this week. We're going to see him in a shirt. I think he'll lift the number 19 because I think Lautard's going to go.
Semenyo or Madueke, I don't know. LFC Monster. I don't know. Maybe I lean towards Semenyo because
for me, they're different type of players, right?
Semenyo was at Arsenal.
So what are you looking to get? I don't know what Madueke, if he's playing behind Saka, you're like, yes. 50 mil, no, right? 35, 30 to 35, 30 to 40, 30 to 35. Right. You're like, yeah, that's what we want, because we don't know if Saka is going to come back 100%, right? We hope so. If that's why you're spending it, but once again, you're taking that same risk you wouldn't take 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe that's because Edu's not here. Maybe that's because Edu wasn't there and they had nobody to take that to stand in front and say, look, we're going to do this, right? But I still think
Martinelli starts over Madueke. I mean, we've kind of lost Martinelli in this. All the links to Byron have died down. He's not linked to any Premier League clubs. Nobody's really talking about him. I still think
nobody can afford his wages, mate. It's
right.
High.
So I think if the Byron thing's dead, he's staying, and I think he's better than Madueke. I think he's better than Trossard. Yeah, he hasn't been the Martinelli we wanted the last couple seasons, but if he has Gyökeres next to him, and actually has maybe Rice on the left, bro, I would keep Martinelli. I think we would really be losing a Premier League talent, right, for somebody who we know isn't we've already bought. Madueke is not a Premier League talent. So why are we buying worse than what we already have? Right? Martinelli still scored some very, very important goals for us last season.
I'm selling both. I'm selling both Trossard and Martinelli.
No, I'm selling Trossard.
I'm selling both of them because we got our answers already. You saw the answers on the test. That you saw them. You've seen them for the last 2-3 years. You know what the answers are. They're not what we need right now. We need to bring in a yes. That is it, right? That's what we need. Right.
Like
Same thing with a striker, right? We shouldn't be selling for a striker in the second and third tier of the transfer window, right? We should be trying to get those at the top. Isak seemed to be off limits, but it seems like not if you want to pay the money. It's there. We probably don't want to pay the money. So all right. I think.
Well, you can't pay the money because you just dumped 50 on.
Well, yeah. Now it goes back to it goes back to like timing. Like if you did if you got Zubimendi in because it was really close, and you got your striker in before July 1st, right? Because you could have done that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Isak wasn't doing anything right at that point. He wasn't tied down or anything. It wasn't coming into practice and all those types of things. So you could have done that if you really wanted to spend the money. They didn't want to spend it. Like,
would you guys play Martinelli in the 9 again?
Yes, absolutely. I've been calling for that all last season.
If it was going to happen, it should have happened already. We should have found out. Once again, the answers. We should already know the answer whether or not it's going to work, and we weren't even like. This is the thing, right? This is no different than is Kirior, who is a center back, able to play the center back for Arsenal. We finally got the answer because guess what? We got injuries, right? Mm-hmm. And we finally found out, he can play as a center back. But why wasn't he playing before? Right? I mean, this is a little bit on the manager in terms of how he manages his squad. Like
it is on the manager. It's primarily on the manager, Gary, because the other time Odegaard with the ball would go where? To Saka. Martinelli wouldn't get the touches. And I'm going to defend Martinelli because I still think he has something to offer. Yeah. Part of the reason why he was out of scoring form is exactly what Hendon Gunnar says. It's the way he's being used by Arteta. And 80% of the time when Saka was fit, Odegaard would go to the right side, and Martinelli was kind of left with scraps, right? And then he had to deal with Kai Havertz at left mid. Then he had to deal with the left back situation of Zinchenko and Calafiori, and then it was Zinchenko again, and then now it's Lewis Skelly, right? And so I still think Martinelli has something to give, but I think you're right too, is he's our biggest bargaining chip, right? If we really want a new left winger, well, we got one now, but if we really wanted Rodrigo or let's say someone like Kvaratskhelia and that level, Martinelli would be the one to have to go because Trossard's only worth, what 17, 18, 19 mil, right? Maybe 20 mil tops. But Martinelli, I still think we could sell him on for 70, 75 mil. But the thing is that he's better than Madueke. He's better than Madueke. On Martinelli's worst season is better than Madueke's best season.
I mean, we all can agree that Martinelli had a stinker last season, and he still scored more goals than Madueke. So I agree.
Thank you. So anyway, I gotta run, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Good having you on, Eric. Good.
Yeah, big up, man. Man, big up to you, man. Appreciate you.
That's why I want. That's why I want to do better. You know, that's why I want to do better than both. Whatever we have right now, we need to do better than them. That's why.
Rodrigo and Gyökeres in the middle of June. We should have signed Rodrigo and Gyökeres should have been done by now, and we wouldn't even have this conversation. Yeah. So anyway, big up to you guys. Big up to everyone in the chat.
Right.
And I grabbed some lunch, hang out with the fam. So thank you guys so much. And talk to you all.
Nice to speak to you.
Nice to meet you, Battle Red. See you soon, Gary. See you there.
See you soon.
Hey guys.
Cheers. We're about to wrap it up anyway, man, because I'm about to send you guys over to the Latvian Gunnar because I'm pushing almost 2 hours now. But Mr. Battered, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, man. You speak fluent football. You know, you're the envy of all fans right now. I wish I could sit there with that smile on my face. There's a lot of pain behind this smile, yeah? You have a lot of joy behind yours. There's a lot of pain.
I used to have it a decade and a half before, Darren. I used to have it then. You know,
Gary, you already streamed today, right?
I already what?
I
streamed this morning. Yeah, I streamed this morning on my side. Yeah. So
you got anything else coming up today?
Nothing else coming up until I'll be back on Monday for my usual show at 7:30 on Eastern time, 7:30 Eastern time, 12:30 a.m. for you guys in the UK on Monday. I guess it's be Tuesday morning your time. We'll talk a little bit about Arsenal. Hopefully by then we'll have that striker. You know, supposedly things happen on the weekends with Sporting and being a publicly traded team. So we'll see if that's true. We'll see if
man.
that's true.
Well, you've got to start your private plane tracking thing tomorrow. You know, friends might come to Singapore in a private.
Hey, we
plane
already.
time.
Hey, his house has been moved. The stuff in his house been moved out, so we know. Supposedly, he's got a big house already set up with like a trainer and all of that. So yeah, no, we know all of that stuff. All that.
Oh my days! Well, yeah, man. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure, man. Big up. Like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.